Hello everyone and welcome back to another TBR video. So today we are obviously choosing our TBR for the month of September, which biased, but I think it's the best month of the year because it's my birthday month. I have a busy month ahead as always. I'm going away for my birthday, so we have a little bit of travel where I won't be able to read as much as I usually can, but I'm still optimistic that we will be able to read these 6 books that we picked for our TBR, because out of the 6 books that we picked for our TBR last month, we did complete them all. We did read them all, which is wonderful. I think that's the 3rd month, maybe, or 4th. Definitely more than 2nd, at least the 3rd month that we've had in a row where we've read every single book that we've chosen on our physical TBR, which is great because it means that these books are working. These books are working, it means these videos are working. So we're choosing our TBR. I'm a mood reader. I read 16 to 20 plus books a month, so choosing 6 off my physical TBR to prioritize reading through the month is a good number for me. So we're also going to continue moving forward with choosing 6 again today. So I have the physical TBR here. I also have some books from my physical TBR on my bookshelf, like some of my Fairy Loot editions and some sequels and books in a series, because I was reorganizing my bookshelves and I was playing around with space. I needed to know how much space I had left, so some books are on my shelf. But we're gonna pick 6 books, hopefully from the physical TBR, maybe also from the Kindle TBR, and they're going to be our priority TBR for the month of September, and we'll mood read them. I'm not super strict with my TBR again because I am a mood reader, so I do like to try and choose books that I think I want to read, but also if I don't read them, then I don't read them. They just get back on the TBR, and we kind of have a 3 strikes and you're out TBR rule here, where if I pull a book 3 times and I don't read it, or twice and I don't read it in the months that I pick them twice, and I pull it a 3rd time, I have to read it or I'm going to unhaul it. And that way it sort of forces me to read it, and then if I really don't enjoy it, then I can unhaul it. Now, in terms of any new releases that are coming out, there aren't actually that many coming out in September that I'm rushing to get around to. Like, we do have People Watching by Hannah Bonham-Young, and I do really want to read that as soon as possible when that comes out, because I just read Out on a Limb by her and I loved that. So that's probably the top of my TBR. We also have The Primal of Blood and Bone. That's another one I'm very excited for. There are a few books on my TBR that are coming out, like arcs that are coming out in September, like Soul Searching by Lila Sage, What Fury Brings by Trisha Levenseller. I think Every Spiral of Fate comes out in September, but it's the end of September. Also the Lightlark, Grim and Oro book, I think that comes out the end of the month. Like, if anything's around the 30th, I'm just going to include it in my October books that I want to read and get around to. The UK trad publishing date for Metal Slinger is coming out, but I've already read that twice, so I don't think I'll be reading it again, but I'm very excited to have the UK edition of that and get my hands on a copy of that. I think Fearful by Lauren Roberts is also coming out, but again, other than that, I don't really think there are that many new releases that I'm itching or racing to pick up. I feel like most of the new releases that I was the most excited for were at the start of the year, around like March, April, May time. So hopefully it means that we can read some arcs maybe on the physical TBR that I'm behind with. I'll pick up some physical books and prioritize those. So we're just gonna pick the first prompt. Okay, so we have an orange prompt. Wait, what a prompt. A book published closest to your birthday date and month. Could not have picked a stronger first prompt. Okay, so what comes out? Wait, I need to look up the dates of all these books that are coming out. I found a TikTok that's got dates, but I don't know if it's accurate to the UK dates or just the US. But the one closest to my birthday is The Primal of Blood and Bone. That's coming out on the 23rd, and my birthday is on the 19th. And I do have that pre-ordered, but it's not a book on my physical TBR. Is that one that I need to read? The only other option we have is Soul Searching by Lila Sage, but that comes out on the 30th, and I have that now. And it is a shorter, yeah, it's less than 350 pages, but The Primal of Blood and Bone I really want to read, so we might go with that one, because it's the prompt is the one closest to your birthday date and month. So even though I physically already have this one, we're gonna wait until my birthday for The Primal of Blood and Bone to come out, and that will be our first pick. So it's not even a book on our physical TBR yet, but it is a new release that's coming out this year, and it fits the prompt. So prompt number 2. Prettiest book on your TBR card. That's a good one. Ooh. I have front and back of my TBR card booked, but I have Real by Kennedy Ryan. I just love the colours of this. I think it's so pretty and colourful, and I also really want to read this one. I guess also The Princess Knight. This one comes out in October, and this is an arc, the debut romantasy from the Middle Ages. So that's also really pretty. One's a romance and one's a fantasy. So Real, we'll look at the blurbs of what they say and then decide based off that. So this says, Neva Saint is ready for the spotlight. After months as an understudy, this is her night to shine. She never imagined he would watch in the audience. Canon Holt, famous film director, fascinating, talented, fine. Before she can catch her breath, everything is changing. Neva goes from backstage Broadway to center stage Hollywood, from being unknown to having her name on everyone's lips when Canon casts her in a star-studded Harlem Renaissance biopic. But forbidden attraction, scandal, and circumstances beyond Neva's control soon put her dream in jeopardy. Could this one shot, the role of a lifetime, the love of a lifetime, cost her everything? Ooh, I really want to read that one. Okay, and The Princess Night doesn't have a blurb on this proof copy. Yeah, there's no blurb on this. Yes, there is. Never mind, I lied. Prince Domhnall and Princess... I need to look up the pronunciation for that. So we have a prince and a princess who are a perfect royal match, or so everyone says, until he ruins everything by refusing to propose. Okay. Heartbroken but determined, the princess makes a plan. Follow the prince. Okay, I'm really gonna need to look up the pronunciation of this. There's a lot of apostrophes going on here. She follows him to the military academy he's attending and secure the betrothal. How hard can dueling really be? Warrior Ronan promised himself he'd never lose his focus. He has no time for blonde princesses who waltz into arenas like they're attending a ball, even if she and her otter-like pet are, well, cute. He doesn't want to be intrigued by the princess, but her hunger to prove herself is something he understands. He tells himself there's no harm in training her, even if his heart does race around her, even if the prince is his best friend. But as they say, love is a battlefield, and unfortunately for them, a very real war is looming on the horizon. It's a fight that will threaten their kingdoms and test their hearts. Oh, that does sound really good too. They're so different vibes. But I think I'm gonna go for Real by Kennedy Ryan. I think this is gonna be our second book on our physical TBR. This is one of the newer additions to the physical TBR, and if I just let it sit there, I probably won't pick it up, but because I'm in the mood to pick this up and read it, I'm gonna choose this. So that's our second book in our physical TBR picked. We're gonna pick our third prompt. Oh, we got two. Let's go with the pink one. A book you can finish in a day. Okay, I can pretty much finish anything in a day, so this kind of gives me free reign. Though I do think that this is one of the shorter books on the physical TBR. We've got Soul Searching by Lila Sage. I'm gonna move some of the back books round to the front. The Serpent's Bride, I can probably read in a day. Seven Deadly Thorns, I could also read in a day. I have Wrath of the Dragons that I really want to read, the sequel to Fear the Flames. That is around 500 pages. A bit of a bigger book though, so out of all the ones I could finish in a day, probably not this one. So I think it's going to be between these two. So Soul Searching is a new book in a new genre, I think, by Lila Sage. So it says, home is where the heart is, and this one is haunted. Collins Cartwright does not want to go home. Sweetwater Peak, Wyoming was supposed to be in her rear view mirror, but when she finds out a developer is trying to buy her parents' antique shop, she doesn't have a choice. At least that's what she tells her family. They don't need to know that she's lost her job and is out of money, or that the ghosts that have always been her companions have recently gone silent. But Collins draws the line at moving back in with her parents. Lucky for her, the local upholsterer has a room for rent. Unluckily, it is absolutely crawling with ghosts who are freezing her out. Brady Cooper is absolutely fine. Seriously, there's no secret reason why he decided to uproot his life and suddenly move to Sweetwater Peak. He just needed a change of pace. At least that's what he tells himself. When he agrees to let Colin stay in his spare room, he doesn't know that she constantly talks to thin air or that she looks like that. Good thing their arrangement is only temporary, right? So it's like a paranormal, small town, western romance vibes, I'm guessing. But I mean, at least that's the thing the vibe I'm getting from that, and that is under 350 pages. And then we have this ARC copy here. What is this book and when does it come out? I don't know when this comes out. Oh, it comes out in October. Okay. And this is an enemies to lovers romantasy. Violet Sinclair has hidden her shadow magic her whole life. Discovery means certain death, for in the kingdom of Aragoa, dark magic is forbidden. When the queen finds out Violet's secret, she sends the royal assassin to kill her. He is given a cursed tattoo, 7 thorns on his arm for the 7 days he has to complete his deadly task. If he fails, he will be the one to die. The assassin is Rose, entitled prince, arrogant fellow student at Vanderburg Academy, and Viola's mortal enemy. The chance to strike Viola down is at Rose's fingertips, but he needs something from Viola, and he's willing to spare her life and fake their engagement to get it. Forced to work together, Viola and Rose uncover terrible secrets, sinister threats, and an irresistible attraction. Can they learn to trust each other in time to save themselves and bring the light back to Aragoa? Okay, that's actually really cute and fun. But I think I'm gonna go with Soul Searching because this is the shorter of the two. Like, it seems like it's very bingeable and I can definitely read it in one sitting, like I have done with every other Lila Sage book that I've read. So that's 3 books. 3 books we picked on our TBR so far. First one is a fantasy series that we're very much of the way through. Should have been the ending of the fantasy book series, but apparently it's not going to be the ending anymore. Contemporary romance, Hollywood vibes, and then paranormal Western book. So a very interesting mix. Let's pick number 4. A book Bestie's most recent 5-star. Let's head over to Goodreads and have a look and see if anyone has rated anything on my physical TBR a 5-star recently. I think that's what we're gonna do. Okay, 5 stars. Emily Fun has rated Bloodmarked 5 stars. So I think we're gonna pick this because a lot of the books I have on my physical TBR, I know book besties either haven't read yet or they read it a while ago and it wasn't 5 stars. A book bestie's recent 5-star is Emily's review of Bloodmarked. I've been waiting to get around to this. The reason I haven't read this yet is because the 3rd book came out in hardcover. That's literally it. And I've got the books in paperback. So I was waiting for book 3 to either drop price on Kindle or give it a bit more time so I don't have to wait as long between book 2 and book 3 in the paperback. It's the 2nd book in the Legendborn cycle, which is an Arthurian retelling urban fantasy. We're following our, I think it's 16-year-old main female character as she goes to this new college and she finds out that this magic exists and there's magic being hidden from her as she's looking into the death of a parent. So very, very interesting. I really, really enjoyed book 1. We read it for my book club this year and I've wanted to continue the series. And I feel like the weather, the vibes, the fall vibes is the perfect time to pick up this book. So excited for that. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 books. We've got 2 more left to pick. So let's pick book number 5. A book by an author whose work you've never read. I'm just gonna straight up pick The Princess Knight because it's a debut fantasy romance read and it's an author I've never read because again it's a debut and we read the blurb of that and that sounds like it would be really fun to read in this autumn time. So that is our 5th book that we're adding to the physical TBR. All paperbacks. Wow. Okay, we've got 1 more book to pick. Oh, okay. So this one says a book on my shelves. So a book that was on my shelf rather than my physical TBR. So going with Wrath of the Dragons. I have heard incredible things about this book. Higher ratings than book 1. I've heard nothing but raving reviews for this 2nd book and it being some people's top read of the year so far. And my expectations are quite high because I did enjoy book 1, but it wasn't like a 5-star read for me. I can see how some people didn't enjoy it. I thought it was a fun time, but I'm excited to see if there's a step up in this book because people have been non-stop raving about it. I've seen many 5-star ratings for this book. And this is obviously the 2nd book in a series. The 1st book is Fear the Flames. So we're following a Princess Elowen who's a link to 5 dragons, but I think her father, the king, was envious of that power, so he didn't let her see her dragons. And she ended up having to run away to a different kingdom and start her own kingdom there, a secret kingdom, to survive and eventually retaliate to try and get her dragons back. And she teams up with someone because they have a mutual enemy. It's not enemies to lovers, it's acquaintances to lovers maybe, allies to lovers. They don't really know each other, they don't really like each other because they don't really know each other, but they definitely don't dislike each other. Like there's mutual respect for one another. So book 1 ended on a bit of a, you know, typical fantasy plot twist cliffhanger. And I have heard that this one has way more of the dragons, which is what I was hoping for. And I also just love a pathetically obsessed main male character, which we did have in book 1. I think I rated book 1 like a 3.75 star. I'm hoping that this is at least a 4-star and up read. But I do want to read it because it's just recently come out and just seeing everyone rave about this is making me want to pick it up and continue the series. So they are 6 books that we have picked for our TBR here. We have The Primal of Blood and Bone, Real by Kennedy Ryan, Soul Searching by Lila Sage, Bloodmarked by Tracy Dion, The Princess Knight by Kate Jacobs, and Wrath of the Dragons by Olivia Rose Darling. And I'm very intrigued to see how we get through these reads and my thoughts and opinions and feelings, etc. But we have quite a mix of books that we're reading this month physically on our TBR, so I'm very excited for that. I'm very excited for the fall vibes, I'm very excited for autumnal vibes, I'm very excited for more cozier reading and reading at home. So looking forward to picking up all of these. I'm feeling positive about them. I think it'll be a good reading month ahead. So that is all for this TBR video today, and let me know what the #1 book on your TBR to read in the month of September is. Bye guys.